I wish that President Trump was as impulsive sometimes as Will Smith.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow. Uh-oh, watch out. Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was an assassination joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Hola. ¿Qué tal? I don't know much Spanish, but yeah. Let me finish my ice cream. I need to cool down before things get a little heated, if you know what I mean. And well, just a second. Let's not make this anymore. I have a problem. Then already I've managed to cause yet again. Okay, so how's everybody doing? My goodness, it feels like it's been forever because it has been forever, and I'm sorry about that. It's really really sucks. Really sucks. I'll make this really quick just so you guys know, because maybe you guys, if you're familiar, you might know why. Ableton released a new version a while back, and all of a sudden, a number of plugins weren't working. A number of audio sources were not coming through, and I was getting all kinds of weird problems like mono, and it should have been stereo, and all kinds of stuff going on. And I had read up somewhere, and I also talked to somebody at a local music shop, and basically confirmed that, yeah, you basically have no choice but to really roll back to a earlier version until they actually patch out the problems, and then you should be fine. So I did that. What I didn't know was that due to a number of things that I'd been adding and subtracting from the physical setup, that did fix the initial problems with the plugins, and with Ableton, but there were still issues with the actual audio interface itself, and the certain and solid state Logic's plugins and Harrison's plugins that I have set up, and I couldn't figure out why. And the whole time I was thinking it was a software issue, because originally it was a software issue with the very first problem, and then I slowly but surely came to find out that, wow, I had things still kind of just slapped together from when when you're adding new audio equipment. Sometimes you get lazy, you don't connect everything you should. You just kind of put it together in a way that works as fast as possible, and then you just let it go, and it got into a point where that had happened too many times, and it was just out of control. So that's unfortunately the reason why I was because I swear this was so unbelievably like insufferable. I was fucking furious, and I'm sorry, I was fucking furious because of how much was going on. There was so much going on. I had videos. I had like 5 videos planned, and I'm not gonna obviously get to all the subjects today. I'm gonna try and hit the high notes, but I had so many things that I had planned, and I actually was really excited about them. And I would even go on and check. Oh, okay, this looks like everything's working. Only to switch over to a different channel or a different input, and then realize, oh wait, no, that one's not coming through. Okay, so it's not fixed. Okay, so now what's wrong? And literally every day that was happening until I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, about 12 hours of work finally fixed everything, and then today, a couple other last minute things needed to be done that were a little bit more of a problem than I thought they would be. But overall, I hope I'm right, but I think, oh, and it might not even, okay, am I coming through? I should be. Let's see. Let me just make sure that, because with Rumble, there should be, huh. Oh, wait, hold on. We're way behind on Rumble. On my stream, anyway. Let's see. And there we go. Yeah, oh, wait. Hold on. I think we may be, oh, wait, no, because that's not supposed to come. Yeah. Okay, I think we're fine. As long as it's coming out from the other side. Yeah, I think we're good. If you guys can't hear me, let me know, please, because I think I'm good, but I want to make sure I'm good because, like I said, there's just been nonstop problems, and I think I've got everything in place, but I couldn't do. Oh, geez, every test I wanted to do because I was just like, shit, I have to go on today because talk about everything culminating in one big thing that just makes you go, okay, this is it. I have to pull out all the stops. I'm going on tonight. I am going on. I'm already a day late on this. I'm going on. This is ridiculous. I gotta do this. This sucks. This really sucks. I didn't want to have to miss so many things. Something's going on here. Something is wrong. Hold on. What's going on? Oh, hold on. There's way too many things open. That's one problem. Doesn't look like there's any bandwidth problems. I don't know. Oh, aha. Okay, there's another problem. YouTube, I think, looks fine other than being behind, but I think it's okay. Yeah, it looks like YouTube is more or less fine. And when it comes to Rumble, it looks like Rumble's fine too. Okay. Oh, but I think I do need some more volume here, so hold on just a second. Jeez, the amount of things, I swear, the amount of things I've had to calibrate, recalibrate, fix, prefix, it's been insane. And I've been, so, I don't want to waste any more time. Let's just get into it because, man, I don't know if anybody else feels this way. I'm sure there's a number of people out there that do, but I'm really hoping that as the dust sort of clears and everybody kind of comes to sort of a overall assessment of the situation, they kind of finally reach this point. I said this basically to myself as I was driving the other day. I was just driving to do some errands, and I was just thinking about everything, and I just kind of blurted out loud, I am fucking tired of these pieces of shit trying to kill my fucking president. I am tired of this. And I don't know, it just hit me all at once. Okay, so 2 assassination attempts as he's a candidate, 3 that we know of as he's been president, and there's probably been more than that because they are staying pretty tight-lipped about all the plots coming out of particularly Iran since the conflict began, or even before it began. Is there any more, like, it should have been enough to see after the first one. The second one should have been enough to cause outrage, and believe me, I'm sure everybody out there is not even confused at all and wouldn't even doubt for a second that if this was Joe Biden, if this was Barack Obama, if this was anybody on the left that was the president, or hell, a congressman, a senator, they would be nonstop, wall-to-wall coverage. And I know everybody does that comparison thing, but this is one of those times where we're talking about assassination attempts here. We're talking about assassination attempts on a president who clearly has been living in a constant state of threat from both litigation from inside the country, from whack job lunatic leftist fucking asswipe pieces of garbage, and foreigners who are aligned with some ridiculous fucking Islamic extremist bullshit global jihadist movement that want to kill the leader of the great state in the United States, because let's face it, Donald Trump is fucking kicking their ass and making them look like fools as they try to sneak their little oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, and then he blows he doesn't, but the military of the United States, flexing their fucking might, blowing the engine room out of these little fucking sneak thief in the night vessels that are trying to get around this blockade. And it's like, no, the time for that's over. You accept the terms, or we keep blocking the strait. There's no other way. There's no other. There we go. There's no other. There's no alternate way around this. There's no other way you're going to get any kind of other result. If you want your country, which therein lies the issue. I don't know if they do want their country to survive or not. They seem pretty content with letting their country get destroyed, as a matter of fact, and of course their people. Well, they're the ones killing their people. They're killing far more of their own people than we have in this, or really in any attack from the United States and probably also from Israel. Then I mean, when you are executing thousands of your own people every week for protesting against the government, and one of the countries fighting against that has a movement within their country who is rooting for those people because they say that their country is ruled by a fascist authoritarian leader who, I mean, ridiculously stupid and absolutely fucking brain dead propagandized lemmings. What else can you say about the left? They lost their self-respect a long time ago. That's non-existent. They don't respect the country. We know that. They have no problem burning the flag while wearing their Ukraine support flags. By the way, another thing that came up, and this is just a side note because I'm kind of just scattershotting at the moment. I've got to get this all off my chest. There was a vote in the Senate, I think, a few days ago. I can't remember exactly when it was. But this is what drives me crazy. I've been saying this. I don't know if I've said it on the show very often. I've said this a lot in my personal life. I know to explain things to people that don't really quite get it. Like, why do we help this country, not that country? Why is Israel someone we help? Well, there was a vote in the Senate about selling weapons to Israel, not giving, not handing, not just transferring, but selling. Literally opening our market for weapons to Israel, an allied nation, to buy them. And 40 Democrats voted no. So let me get this straight. For some reason, there's no end to the amount of aid we're going to provide to, say, Ukraine, a country who is, well, their government and corruption, that record is sketchy at best. I'm not saying that the people are bad, and I'm not saying that I want Russia to win, but the concept of the American citizen being upset that we're prioritizing another country above our own when we handed them billions and billions of dollars of weaponry, and Israel is willing to pay for the weaponry, and they get pissed off and throw a tantrum and scream APAC and go lunatic bonkers crazy because why are we helping out Israel? We're selling them stuff. We're selling them weapons in a region where they get daily rocket fire into their country. Why is that hard to understand? Is there something difficult about this? Is this some kind of strange paradoxical reality that you don't understand or are unaware of how, trade and transactions work? This is coming from a lot of people, too, who somehow have been starting to, they would never have been for free market trade at all until the tariffs got implemented. And then all of a sudden, this is an interruption for global trade. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that they're pissed that Trump is trying to make countries stop ripping us off with their... They have no problem tariffing us, and that was always the biggest thing for me. Is like, you're pissed that we're using tariffs to tariff a country that's been tariffing us for like 30 years now, and we've been paying it without any kind of complaint, any kind of hesitation, any kind of resistance whatsoever. Been paying it mostly due to weak and pathetic leaders that don't want to rock the boat and oh no, heavens forbid we do anything to upset our fellow NATO forces, because Lord knows they've been contributing so much to this alliance. But I can't stand it. I can't stand how ridiculous the hypocritical stances are on these issues, and why is it that people have this impression that a country that you sell weapons to, I mean, like, once again, this goes to the party that, I guess, in the same vein, thought that Iron Dome was killing Palestinians. Like, they were using Iron Dome to attack civilians in Gaza. How exactly you're thinking that's happening? Because it's an anti-missile defense system. It's not a targeting system for people on the ground. That's not what it does. But I don't know, maybe according to them, they refashioned it without our knowledge to actually, even worse, they probably, made sure it was targeting hospitals and schools first. And that's what happened, there and in Iran, of course. It's so fucking wild. It's so fucking wild. So, that's been the backdrop for everything. Back to the first subject. And the intro clip, which, by the way, we'll go over Jimmy Kimmel and his absolutely sadistic and sick fucking minded quote unquote joke that was so funny, which, oh, you portrayed the Obamas as gorillas. Yeah, and Jimmy Kimmel suggested that Melania was soon going to be a widow because her husband was probably going to get fucking murdered by some lunatic on Jimmy Kimmel's side, I'm sure, who, has no problem with political violence. By the way, we'll be hearing later on, and I'll be going into further detail, but some great information about political violence and where it comes from, and particularly when it comes to Mehdi Hassan, why he's a lying sack of shit, who I've talked about before as a lying sack of shit. I'm going to apologize up front though right now because I know this is going to continue. I'm pretty damn angry, as you no doubt can tell. And so just fair warning, this is going to be a rather uh, a rather there's going to be quite a bit of a potty mouth language used in this show, so um, I really would try to cut it back, but this time, just grant me this one because I'm not going to hold my tongue on this one. These sick bastards are yeah. I saw this clip of James Talrico and his smug ass on I think it was Real Time. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up in a second because there may have been someone else on the show that day, someone else who much more appealing than James Talarico in just about every single way. But yeah, the way he referenced the usual talking points that you always hear, the same old shit that apparently is the only thing they have. He's mentioned in the Epstein files 38,000 times, and he's what was the other one that he was using that he thought was so great? Jeez, I can't remember. I was trying to block it out because I'm so sick of that son of a bitch. Oh yeah. That was it. That was it. The fucking ridiculous birthday card that they put so much stock into. Like, yeah, that sounds like Donald Trump to talk about beautiful secrets. Yeah, that just doesn't that just sound just like Donald Trump to wax poetic about beautiful secrets with his pal Epstein. Jeez. But the reason I'm really highlighting this is because as you all know about the whole assassination attempt, the I'll just say it, the pathetic loser that fucking went in there and thought he was gonna be some big name fucking hero on the left for going in and taking on the power, man. And really, when he's a fucking, I mean, he looked like he may have been someone who had some talent and was going to maybe be successful as a entrepreneur at one point in his life until he decided, nah, I'd rather complain and bitch and moan for the rest of my life about the Republican Party and everything that they're doing that's evil. Like, we need people paying their fair share in taxes, even though they already pay way more than their fair share if they are making the top bracket for taxes. You know, it's all the same talking points. They're all things that are arguable at best, flat out debunked already at worst, and yet they still use them. One of the things that was highlighted recently, just before the shooting, which I was going to go over, and I probably will still go over anyway, was the very fine people bullshit hoax that was perpetrated from left-wing media, but that was started by, surprisingly, in arguably at least, started by the Southern Poverty Law Center. And we'll go over the ties directly to that if you haven't heard. The goals of the Southern Poverty Law sorry. The goals of the Southern Poverty Law Center seem to have changed quite a bit since their initial founding, and their mission statement to root out racial discrimination and prejudice and things like that, and it seems to have recognized, just like those of the media, that the need for their big epidemic of racially based actions from the right, including things like white nationalism, white supremacy, and things like that. the demand was far higher than the supply. Like, and by far higher, I mean it was almost non-existent, and the demand was through the roof. This was like Turbo Man and trying to get one on Christmas Eve, and Arnold Schwarzenegger running around. Well, maybe not that crazy, but it was pretty close. I see what's wrong here. Hold on just a minute. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Catching the corner of my desk, and that was bugging me. Or is it still there? Now the image is cut off a little bit. Oh, it is still there. Okay, well, here. Oh, man. Haha! There we go. And it's actually... never mind. I'm not going to go too crazy. I'll just adjust the light a little bit, and I think we should be good. So anyway, let's just get into the event. So we'll start with let's see, where should we start? Because I mean, at this point, I got to it pretty late, so I'm not going to focus so much on the actual events. We all probably at this point know the sequence of events, what happened, how it ended. No one was killed, thank God. And a member of the security, I don't know if it was Secret Service or if it was DC police or who it was exactly, but someone did get shot, but they were wearing a bulletproof vest and managed to take the shot and come out without any serious injuries. Luckily, I've been interested in. I'm a firearms guy, and I've checked out body armor before, and different ratings for body armor for different types of weaponry. And the guy's little manifesto, he even talks about the idea of how bulletproof vest, even pretty highly rated bulletproof vest at close range with a shotgun is still very, especially if it's not necessarily, well, I guess it depends if it's because there's I'm pretty familiar, and I think there's really mainly two types of body armor that are available to, especially to the public, but I would imagine this also to law enforcement as well. There's really two main types of body armor that you can have on in any kind of enforcement operation. There's basically ones with steel plates that are highly highly refined and pressed and hardened to be extremely difficult to penetrate for most rounds up to a certain caliber. Now, once you get up to rifles that are around, like 5.56, you're not probably going to stop something like that with body armor that's just metal body armor. Surprisingly, what that usually ends up being is something that is kind of interesting. It is a bit of a trade-off, though. It's a type of body armor that uses a combination of different types of Kevlar weave and ceramic to break up the bullet as it enters the front plate, and then as it gets caught in Kevlar and hits the ceramic plate, the bullet starts to sort of tumble so much that it loses all velocity. It sort of warps the shape so badly that it can't really penetrate anything. and it won't end up making it all the way through. Now, the problem with this kind of tech, while this is rated to stop much higher caliber weapons, because in order to have some steel that is strong enough to stop higher caliber rounds, you have to have steel that's so thick it's super heavy, and it's just not really feasible to have people that are trying to move around quickly have this giant, heavy, super thick plate of steel that's in their vest that they're wearing. So these alternate types that have um, uh, fiber weave and ceramic, these are great for stopping those, but they very quickly degrade because obviously the ceramic shatters, the weave starts to um, compress around the area where it's getting the original impact, and if you hit areas that are close to the same spot multiple times, it will be much easier to get through if you are hitting. Now it takes several shots, so um, it's not like it's highly probable, but it is still something that, especially in smaller firefights where there's only one or two officers against somebody who's got multiple guns or one really strong rifle or whatever. But the point is that this guy was taking shots at security guards as he was, or Secret Service. I can't remember for sure, but it was one or the other. As he's running in, and I guess we'll go ahead. That's kind of a good place to start. This is the one thing from the night that I will play, because there's some other video footage in this, but I'm just gonna play the part where the guy actually makes a break for it to go into the ballroom and make the attack on the White House Correspondents' Dinner. This guy is booking it. Like, he is booking it, and you can tell he's sort of walking up slow, scouting out the area one last time, and then as soon as he feels like everybody is not really necessarily at peak alert, he's just like that. He's off, and I just think it's interesting to see how snap that reaction was. So, let me see if I can find it. It's not super important, but it is. It's an aspect of this that you have to kind of look into when you think about what went into the planning process, and of course motive, but also the like, in best case scenario, what was he hoping to achieve? It seemed like to kill as many members of the Trump administration as he could, and not law enforcement or civilians or you know, hotel staff, people like that. Like, he's trying to justify in his own mind how he's only going after people who are evil, when in actuality you've got a room full of people who these are people who cover the White House, covered the president, and they spent 8 years, the first 4, lying about Russiagate, then lying about the Zelensky-Trump call. Oh, that was bad. No, the call with Trump and Zelensky about the quid pro quo, and then when Joe Biden got in, then they had, of course, their nonstop talking point of January 6th that they still won't stop shouting about, and then after that, these people are the ones who have been the loudest and most consistent to bring up all the grievances that have led the Democratic Party to be a completely off the rails, ridiculously insane, and
absolutely in no way in touch with reality. The party that represents all of those things. It's really it's sick. Um, but yeah. Anyway, if I can find that. If I can't, it's all right. It's not that big of a deal, but God damn. Hmm. Oh, hmm. I don't see it here. Oh, whoops. Um, hmm. Well, it's not a big deal. It's not important. I just anyway, get the idea. He was booking it in like that. Now, the guy did live. There was initial report coming from. Actually, I think it was Caitlin Collins, who was talking to the news desk at CNN about how one agent she spoke to said that the gunman had been killed. That was one of the first reports I had heard, and oh, whoops. Um, Oops, sorry about that. I accidentally clicked the be right back screen. Um, anyway, Caitlin Collins had reported that the shooter had been killed. Obviously, that wasn't true. In fact, it's still kind of unclear to me exactly what happened. I don't know if he got hit or if he just realized he wasn't going to be making it, so he just put himself on the ground so that they weren't going to have any reason to suspect that he was. Well, of course they wouldn't, even if he's laying on the ground. But I think they were paying enough attention to him to notice if he had, because he had he had shotgun on him, or at least a long rifle on him, a pistol, and multiple knives. That was the reports from multiple sources about the arsenal he was carrying. And so, I mean, this is like the Kavanaugh assassination attempt in terms of planning. This guy had a number of items on him that he obviously had specific plans on what he wanted to do. Once he got into the actual area where all the administration officials were. Um, but another interesting aspect is he specifically mentions no FBI. Not even Cash Patel, I think, was someone that he wanted to target because I think it's kind of obvious in a lot of ways. This is somebody who thinks that the law is on the side of the left. He's only heard one side of the argument because he only has seen information from one source, and it's not even really something that when you think about 5 minutes, like, why the hell would Donald Trump want this? Or like, not want this, but what is it gonna benefit Donald Trump for this? I don't know what the, um or I mean, how is it going to hurt Donald Trump if you fail? I guess is, and I mean, as we all know that it's not going to make him sympathetic to the left. They already have made up their minds. But um, what I'm hoping is like, seriously, and this is really one of the biggest things I want to put out is, isn't it far past time to recognize at this point that this is lunacy? That we've had a president that was elected by the people for a second term after, after first deciding they didn't want to vote for him again, which who knows about the validity there. There's been so many questions raised that don't have answers. Who knows? But But let's just say it was a lot closer in 2 than in 3. In 3, it was pretty resoundingly in favor of President Trump. This is who we voted for. I don't want. Now, if people are shaking around violent. Anyway, yeah, the people in the actual ballroom there are like they're confused, but they're trying to do their best to like stay calm. Luckily, there was no panic that was caused by this. Leave it to Brian Stelter to be the first one to think. I thought it was dishes clanging together. I had no idea what was going on. It's like, I bet you did, Brian. I bet you did. Who else other than well, I mean, what else can you say other than I think there's only one thing to say, and that's oh no, I forgot. Hold on a second. Oh man, I forgot. That one's gonna have to be for next time. This is part of the sound issues that came up. But as a matter of fact, I need to make sure of one other thing too. This one probably should be fine, but I mean, we'll see. This one says appropriate, so. Nope. Nope. Not that either. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to do some work to fix that for the next time. But anyway, jeez, man, this sucks so bad. This is this is like similar to what the things that have been going on. But anyway, let's get on with the so where's the yeah there's you could immediately tell, and this is what really this is sign number one. This is something that you can always watch for after an event where there's violence and Donald Trump is involved and is likely the target, or likely someone who is being singled out to attempt to harm or to do something to you know do irreparable harm to his presidency and his cabinet and such and such. Listen to the severity of which the leftist media sources talk about the event, which I will say on one positive note, I want to give a shout out because I don't like a lot of the guy's takes, but I have to say I really respect the fact that he had the guts to come out and say this on CNN at a time when this was happening. Van Jones actually was very, very reasoned and sounded far more concerned as a citizen of this country than anybody else I saw on CNN or BS Now or any other stupid leftist station where they're doing nothing but coming up with reasons why it was justifiable. Basically, I mean, what else are they doing? They're trying to find ways to say, well, yeah, I can understand why. There is no reason why. There is no reason why. There's going to be some information I'm going to bring it up later, which I did hear an interesting point, which was that there was that question that was asked of people from different parties whether they believed political violence was necessary in any situation or any potential situation. And what's interesting to me was that I didn't hear until much later, but it made sense that due to I don't know, due to the gee, I completely lost my train of thought here. Anyway, you know what? Let's just play the clip. There was yeah, here we go. This like reactions that came um, directly after this whole thing, and they were just essentially like once again the type of response of like, well, this is an issue for both sides. No, no, this is not an issue for both sides. There is no both sides. This is and one particularly detestable piece of fucking trash that I am tired of listening to his passive aggressive, hyperbolic, ridiculous excuses and bullshit to justify the Iranian regime. Mehdi Hassan himself, Mr. Al Jazeera #1 propagandist, he puts out this smart ass snarky tweet in response to I can't remember who it was, but it was someone more right leaning that was reporting, talking about the same thing I was talking about. This is not a problem. Just, I mean, just for example, um, there was the United Healthcare CEO, got Brian Thompson, shot by Luigi Mangione, leftist. Charlie Kirk, killed by a leftist. Donald Trump, assassination attempts by both leftists and radical Islamists. There's been threats from the drug cartels from Mexico and Latin American countries. There's been threats against J.D. Vance. There have been threats against pretty much everyone in Trump's cabinet. There's been threats against just about every right-wing conservative reporter or podcaster or live streamer or anything like that to a degree that is completely like there's not even a comparison whatsoever to the amount of yeah, anyway, so let, let's just look at what Mehdi has to say, and then we're going to go over this because this is one of those things that was really and bear in mind this is a clip from Louder with Crowder. He's going to mention points that are absolutely the type of hypocritical bullshit you would expect from Mehdi Hassan. But I want to kind of go into a little bit more detail because, once again, just like with very fine people on both sides, these are things that people don't generally know because they don't hear it, because they only hear a headline. They only hear um, one major point that's being used as a summarization that is going to benefit whoever it is they're trying to benefit. So basically, nothing in this comparison is at all like any of the attempts on Donald Trump's life, even the ones that are acts of violence against another political figure. And I'll explain why. I don't think it's a good thing by any means, but let's just be honest about what the facts are about this. So let's listen to this worthless human being and his attempts to destroy the country with insane propagandist talking points like this. Um, oh, no, it's right up here. Hmm. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway. Oh, and make sure that that's on. Hmm. Oh, wait, is it down here? No, it should be up here. Hmm. It's making it confusing because there's another Hassan that we're gonna have to talk about pretty soon too. Another one. I'm sure you can kind of guess who I'm talking about there, but I'll leave it for the next subject because man, oh man. Here we go. Here we go. Found it. Okay. Sorry about that. That was okay. There we go. All right. Sorry for the wait, but here we go. Let's hear what this piece of garbage has to say about. Okay. So, all right. Take it away, Stephen. What's going on here? Oh, whoops. And one more. Okay, now we're good. Oh, wait, hold on. Jeez. Okay, sorry. That's what's driving me nuts. Once again, I think I could fix this fairly quick, though, if I just gotta change the source real quick. Hold on. Which one? Oh, actually, you know what? Even better. I can. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, where is that thing? No, but it's not this one. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Aha. Yeah. Oh, is it? Huh. Wait, this is actually kind of strange. This should be. Let me see this again real quick. Just give me just a second because I'm kind of confused. Oh, is it the wrong? No. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, this is strange. Let me see if there's a. Hold on. Let me just add another source. That should fix it. Oh, actually, I think that is the problem. Yeah, I didn't add the source for. Should be this one. Oh no! It's not that one. It's wait, what? There should be an existing one. Oh wait. This is that's right. This should be NDI source. Yeah. Yep. Here we go. Okay. Um. Okay. Let me make sure this one works. Now I think we should be good. No, it's not. It's not that one yet. Okay. Then I gotta add the plugin to it. Sorry, guys. Jeez, I should have checked this beforehand. I just had a million freaking sources to make sure they were in the right spot and they were. Okay, so I need to add. I believe it's this one. Hmm. Man, what in the hell? Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can figure out where the other one's coming from. It just would be the main side. Let me see. Properties. No, not properties. Gender filters, right? No, it's not there anyway. Oh, aha! I remember now. Okay, all right, I got it. Jeez, sorry, you guys. This is so lame. Um, okay, let's remove this one. Damn. I guess I can't remove this one. Well, I can do the next best thing, and I can hide it. So I guess I'll do that. Okay. Hmm. Oh, this isn't. Here's the other problem. My player's not. Well, actually, hold on. Yeah, no, it's not big enough. Um, Wait. Okay, hold on. Jeez, I'm sorry, guys. This may be an episode I have to use as a sort of a pretext to the next episode because apparently I was not as completely ready as I thought. Usually, when you have a source in OBS, if you're not familiar, it carries over to every instance of that source, no matter what the scene is, and yet for some reason it's not doing that here. And because they're all coming out of my basic desktop audio, no matter what other source they're coming from, but yeah, this is really frustrating. And I know this is probably not the most exciting. I was all worked up, man, and now I'm getting bummed out again because it's just been day after day of this, man. It's frustrating, and I don't mean to freaking whine and complain about it. It's just been. One day I'm gonna go over my whole audio setup and show you guys because I swear I really it's partly shooting myself in the foot, but at the same time I've always been really interested in audio. I've always been really hands-on with things that I've done like music and writing electronic music, doing vocal performances. I've played drums, I've done vocals, I've made a couple albums in studio, one demo and one that was actually being sent out to some indie label representatives. That was I've talked about this story before, though I won't go into it again. But basically, the point is, like, I've always really enjoyed getting into learning more and more about audio, especially when it comes to recording, or in this case, live streaming or broadcasting. And so I figured I'll handle it myself, I can't afford somebody who can do sound, but having good sounding audio is such a critical component that most people don't even really dip their toes that much into when they're doing live streams. Especially if they're, doing it by themselves. And I don't fault people for that. Obviously, it's not something that's easy to do on your own. But yeah, I guess it's just one of those things for me where it's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right. Damn it. So yeah, but at the same time, it kind of sucks. So okay, let me see here. How about oh, hmm. Okay, there's gotta be. It can't be that one. What is it on this one again? Oh, I can't believe I keep forgetting that. Okay, all right, here. I had it. Um, Here we go. Okay, I think that is correct. So let's see. Are we finally all right with this one now? Jeez. Yep. Yep. Jeez. It really is not. Really, is not even that hard. But man, it seems like when you're kind of drawing a blank every time you. Okay, let me see. Is this coming out of the right source though? Because now there's one other thing. Um, oh, here. Mm, 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 mm. Well, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. That may be one of the reasons why it's not quite there. Um, okay. Jeez Louise. Um, yeah, here we go. Yeah, because it was set to mono and it was set to, maybe, maybe one, two. And here we go, yeah. That's why it was so low. Okay, that should work now. All right. All right, one more time. Sorry about this. Jeez. Hmm. Oh, my goodness. Is there something low on this or something? Oh, oh yeah, I see. Unless that's PC, right? These aren't even labeled correct. Oh man. Well, here, let's try this. Okay, both these up because okay, both these up because they should be both up on the higher. Okay, how about now? It looks like it kind of fixed a little bit of the microphone problem, so let's see about this one. This is ruining the whole thing too. No, man. Okay, one more thing, I guess. I can't believe it. Sorry, guys, the volume is just quiet as hell. Jeez Louise, this is. Ooh, man. Oh, what audio source output was it coming from? Jeez. Um. Ah, there we go. Okay. No, no, no. It's not gonna. It's not gonna play. Not gonna play long. Here, let me see one last thing. I guess there's only one other thing it could be. So I will add a. Yeah, there it is. Hmm. Oh wait, that's 9 and 10, is it? Yeah. That might be due to. Jeez. Here, let's try this. Oh man, actually, I just realized one other thing too. Okay, let's see about now. Jeez, I can try a million things and it's no, it's not. It's not gonna do it. I guess it's just gonna be a no-go, guys. Jeez, man, been trying to do this for days and it just is not cooperating. But yeah, I mean, hey, bright side is I'm at least almost there. But my lord, this is and why is it not coming out of the desktop audio? That's really kind of. Oh wait a minute, hold on. I gotta check this one more time. I won't subject you guys to this anymore after this. If this doesn't work, I'll just I'll just have to cancel and start another one because man, this is depressing. But man, I'm starting to get really demoralized here, and it's just, I mean, it's not just due to the stream. I won't get into any specifics, but I've talked about it before, and it just feels like I don't know if anybody ever has gotten this feeling before. It feels like sometimes it's just me. Like, how is this? Has something like this come up on somebody out of nowhere and just feel so strange, and yet like feel like it's the only possible solution? Like somebody literally cursed you. Like somebody literally singled you out and cursed you for some reason. So many things just consistently go wrong, and specifically not just going wrong, but going wrong exactly at a time when things start to go really well for you, just to knock you down from a higher position, I don't know. I don't know. It just it's really weird, and it's not, it's not like in the grand scheme of things, someone would say that's a super high position. It's just to me, who's really had to struggle to kind of figure out after I kind of had lost the ability to do full time tattooing from various studios because the business kind of become really has just changed so much. So that combined with um, sort of the impracticality, because I had to leave a couple jobs just to. I talked about being a cameraman before for hockey and local hockey team, and uh, I voluntarily quit that job. It was one of the few jobs I ever quit, and I didn't want to quit, but I was at that point working 3 jobs, and my tattooing apprenticeship at that point was taking up so much time. I just had no way to freaking keep going with it, and so I had to make a sacrifice, and that was the only one that I could because it was the one where I was having the least hours and making the least amount of pay, even though it was great pay as supplemental, but by itself it wasn't nearly enough to really work. But um, uh, then after losing the tattooing gig, doing kind of um, other endeavors, I still did a lot of tattooing on the side for clients that I'd worked on for years and years. I just did house calls and things, and I still miss it, but it's it's expensive keeping up with everything you need for, especially when um, the idea of having a good working autoclave that is going to sterilize your equipment is not really financially feasible. So you have to go with single-use disposable tools for the most part. Like needles are always single-use disposables, but like tubes and uh, needle tips that are different sizes for different configurations of needles and such. And yeah, it's just it was cool, it was great, but it just um you know people went to me because they knew my history, they knew I did good work, they knew I was professional, they knew I'd worked in a bunch of shops, and they knew I would give them a really good deal because I wasn't having to pay commission. But it got to a point where I kind of realized, as much as I like doing this, I'm not making nearly enough money off of this to really keep going with it because honestly, I can barely afford to resupply all the things I need to keep going, um, let alone to what's it called? Let alone to make something more than just enough to keep buying more equipment to do more tattoos. So, um, and because there was a handful of people that paid much better, but I was 95% of the time tattooing just regulars um, who I'd tattooed so many times in the past. And then there was a nightmare boss that thought that every client that I had while working under him, that those clients belong to him now. So that was a fun experience because he actually called me up threatening me that like you take any more of my clients again, we're gonna have a problem. Like, I didn't answer the phone. I just listened to his message, and I was like, "You fucking clown! What are you gonna do? You fucking dumbass!" So anyway, that's what I mean by the business being different. That guy, by the way, didn't tattoo. He'd never been an artist. He never had planned to become an artist. He just owned the business. His son was a tattooer, and his son couldn't even bear working for him, so his son moved and ended up working at a different shop, way, way farther away from where we were at. And they had a ridiculous turnover rate. Like everybody, I I worked with left at some point, except for one person, but there's a different reason for that. I'll just put it like that. Anyway, okay, apparently I can't. You know what? There is one thing I can try to do. Let me just see if this works because I'm just kind of curious. If playing it on this screen would actually do any different. No, no, it doesn't. No. Well, yeah, geez. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to fix this and hopefully be back tomorrow. I'm really sorry. Jeez, this is wasn't the triumphant return I was hoping it was gonna be, but uh, I guess just so you guys know, this is something I've been freaking just driving myself crazy over. So it's gonna be very soon that I'm back up. I just need to freaking iron out the last few kinks, I guess. This is it's incredibly crazy. I have a bad feeling too because this really boils down to one thing and one thing only, which is that OBS is it can. I've discovered recently that it can handle higher end plugins that are VST3 plugins, meaning the newest generation of plugins. However, because of number one, the way that audio interfaces, I'm sorry, DAWs, digital audio workstations, handle plugins in relation to not just a track but a series of inputs, and on the front of being able to control it, the control surface and a lot of controls work so much easier when you're using the DAW instead of OBS, because OBS doesn't get direct support from companies that make really any control surface. You really don't have a way to control it except for using the mouse over little computer generated knob images for each input and each source. And I have a bad feeling that because I have, like I said, I use Ableton Live, which is one of the better ones for using for the purposes of doing live streams. But there's multiple versions. There's one that's more expensive, and then there's one that's really, really more expensive. But I have a bad feeling it's not even going to be that, and it's going to be a actual streaming program other than OBS that is built to support DAW integration without any because with OBS to set up a DAW as a source as opposed to one of your regular inputs, you have to really jump through some hoops. There's a lot of steps involved, and it sucks. But and I also found out that I think for a long time a lot of plugins weren't even working on my stream because I didn't actually have the source set up correctly, so it was receiving the right source, but none of the settings I had dialed in on it were actually coming through correctly because it just wasn't even receiving the transformed signal. It was receiving the pre-input signal from the DAWs plugins, and then sending that right back out to then get processed, which wouldn't even help the stream because it wouldn't even go in there. But anyway, I'm just talking about technicalities now. I'm really sorry, guys. I'll try and get this fixed. I'll try to be on as soon as possible because this was really something I was hoping to finally be able to do. But I'm close, I guess. So I guess I'll take solace in that, and hopefully there's not much left to do. It's also tough because I can't just go switching around screens right now while I'm doing the stream. So I'll work on this, and hopefully tomorrow. It was late today anyway, at least. So not a lot of, although I haven't been on in a while, so I did see a lot of people coming in and out. But I think I'm a little worn out too, to be honest. Been thinking about this every day for like a week, so it's kind of driving me nuts. But But yeah, I'll do the best I can to be on as soon as possible, guys, and I'll see you guys then. Thanks again for watching, though, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Peace out.